Peace, fam. What's going on, man? Peace and blessings to all of y'all, man. Thanks for tapping in to the Space Invaders TV channel here on YouTube. Man, thank y'all, man. Let's once again, peace and blessings be with all y'all, man. Today is we in May, man. It's May the 6th, 2021. There's a lot of stuff I want to get into, a lot of news I want to bring y'all up to speed on. But make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man, and the notification bell. So every time that I post something, and you if you like what the content that I provide to y'all, you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Every time that I post, you will know and you will get it in your email. They'll alert you. But as y'all know, I post once a week. Normally on Thursdays. Last week, every now and then I drop 2 videos in 1 week. I think last week, I did do Thursday and Friday, I believe. So, yeah. So every now and then, I do those things, but this show is different. We talk about a lot of world and national and local events, so and news, stories, period. So I drop once a week just to gather my thoughts and then just to see what's going on, and because dropping every day is just a little too much for me. So I'd rather gather my thoughts and I do my research, and once a week I bring you the content. But today, man, we got something good here. We got a few things I want to run through today. So right now, first up though, I want to say shout out to Morris Brown College out in Atlanta. I didn't even know it was that long, but they're getting their re-accreditation because they lost their accreditation. It's been 20 years. It's been 20 years that they didn't have their accreditation. So now they're getting accreditation back, so they'll be able to offer, the financial aid and everything of that nature, and they'll be able to get their enrollment numbers back, get the students back. They went from 2,500 students to 50 students. They had school filed bankruptcy in 2012 to prevent foreclosure on its campuses, and on this campus. I'm sorry, not campuses. On this campus, and they sold a couple of their buildings to investors. So yeah, man. Shout out to Morris Brown. I don't know if they have got it back yet. For what I've been reading, I don't think they got it back yet. But shout out to Morris Brown University, the founders of Morris Brown, which Morris Brown was established in 1881, and the college founders were Morris Brown, of course, and Wesley John Gaines. Those were the founders of that HBCU. So shout out to Morris Brown, man, and Godspeed. Y'all could get back on track and get back to it, man. So that's that news there, man. Big up to them. Now I want to understand. I want y'all to tap in on this. If you watching this show right now, this video right now, whatever you want to call it, I want your opinion. White, black, Asian, whatever your nationality is, I want to know your opinion on this reparations. What do you think about reparations for black people? So I'm gonna read y'all something here. So And if some of you probably say, what are reparations? You know, reparations is, in lame terms, just to sum it up, to not even give no longer, pretty much paying the black people for what they done to our ancestors. You know, paying us for what was done to our ancestors during slavery. You know, the torment, torture, the conditions, living conditions, just from just stealing our ancestors from their native land, Africa. You know, and just the way our ancestors have been treated, period, point blank. You know, and just used as slaves. So that's pretty much like that's what it is, paying us for what they done to our people. You know, what do y'all feel about that? That's reparations. Now, around the country, you're having different cities and states are stepping up and trying to implement programs and things of that nature to right their wrongs of what this country has yet to apologize for to our people. You know, they have yet to apologize, you know, for what was done to our people. It's like United States just does not, you know, it has not, it's the people in power have not acknowledged that, you know, and gave a formal apology. You know, so you have certain states that are stepping up, like California, Oakland, California, to, you know, as well. Oakland, California's mayor, Libby Schaaf, announced that the city will begin a guaranteed income project that will provide $500 per month to black and indigenous families. The assistance, which targets low-income families of color in the 426,000 population city. It will last for 18 months. So that's what the mayor of Oakland, California, Mayor Libby Schaaf, is going to implement for her city. You know, they're allocating, I guess, and putting funds. They have funds that they have put to the side that they feel that they can do that. You know, hey man, it's something you trying something and to say, you know, and to help out the people, because a lot of people, you know, some people were born, a lot of people were born into impoverished situations. And their parents been struggling. The parents that they were born to been struggling ever since they were kids. You see? And then it happened before them, and it's just a chain reaction, just goes on and on. And this all comes from slavery. Our people have been trying to, some of our people have made it prosperous. You heard our great inventors and things of that. I don't have to go down the list, you know what I mean, of our great inventors. You can go and you can Google, okay? African American inventors, you'll see that stoplights, we play part in these computers too, from hair care products, you know, to the Carolina, all types of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Some of our people have made it out after slavery and became successful. But some of our people, they just never could get their footing, you know, and then so so this one family here has a generation of just struggling, just can't get right, can't get their feet planted, or they might get one successful person out of their family, you know, out of their, we're not talking about like an immediate family, like out of a whole family, they might have one successful person that may goes off and create business or goes off and becomes successful working for another company. You know what I'm saying? But it's still, you know, isn't enough. So that's Oakland, California. Then you have Evanston, Illinois, a city where 18% of its more than 74,500 residents are black. they approved the local reparations restorative housing program, which provides up to $25,000 for housing, down payment, or home repairs to blacks. So that's what's up. You able, and I'm pretty sure your credit probably got to be in good standing to get that for housing or whatever. If it's giving you up to $25,000 for housing, for buying a house and down payment assistance, that's pretty big. I know that the government they've been talking about that period, and offering that for first time home buyers nationally. So that's big that Evanston, Illinois is doing that. And then the state of California period. You have the governor, Gavin Newsom, signed into law the historic legislation that examines the issues of reparation for blacks and descendants of slaves in the Golden State. So what he's doing, the governor of California is doing, so you had Oakland, the city of Oakland, which is the Bay Area. Oakland, their governor is doing something for the city, but then you have their mayor of Oakland is doing something for the city, putting money to the side and gonna push out $500 a month just in her city. But then you have the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. He's putting forward, he don't know what to do. Like, he don't know what he should do, so he's writing out a bill, and he's trying to present it to DC and see what he can do. You know what I mean? Which is understandable. California's a big state, man. So you got to figure out how you're gonna do that. He putting his best foot forward. You know what I mean? And that's all you can ask for somebody to do. You know what I mean? Some people may be like, some of our people say, oh yeah, they need to give us this. You're right. But whatever you may think that we should get, I don't know what the number should be, but if somebody's making the effort, you know what I mean, and to try something, and and one thing we have to understand is, in this situation, and I'm just going to keep it real with you guys right now, I don't like some white people the same way I don't like my own people for being ignorant or doing ignorant things. I'm going to say that one more time. I don't like some white people the same way I don't like my own people for doing ignorant things. If you just doing ignorant or being ignorant, just displaying ignorance and just being hateful and just doing, I don't agree with none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fair person all the way around the board. I'm not a racist. Once again, I don't like some white people the same way I don't like my own people for doing ignorant and being ignorant. You know what I mean? And then just not trying to understand no truth. And I don't blame every white person for what was done to my people, in the past. I don't blame everyone, because just like me, it could be a white kid from my generation that they don't look at things the way their grandparents do, and they might really shun their grandparents for the way they think. You know what I mean? And they may really dislike their grandparents' trend of thought, and they may hate that. So they don't even think the way. And then I understand how some white people and some people might say, "Oh, that's crazy. How you think?" Listen to what I'm about to say. And I think some white people don't really know the real past history of black people. And why I say that is because they probably never tapped in. You know what I mean? They didn't have to tap in. That's not their background. And we have to think about some things. When we think about history, we see us as black people, when we talk about our history, we go back and we talk about Africa, We talk about that. We verbalize that. We verbalize that. You know, we publicly, you know, we're not ashamed. You know what I'm saying? Um, but we have to understand something when it comes to we never hear white folks so much. Europeans talk about their history openly the way that we do. You know what I'm saying? So we can't expect them to know our history. Some. You know what I'm saying? Especially like this new generation. You know what I'm saying? And the generation, I'm in my 40s. So my generation, you know, I can't expect someone, you know, that is white from my generation to really know the history and the plight of the African American. You know, I can't fault them for that. But we know theirs because we read theirs. You know, when we got in school, they never touched so much on our story. You know what I'm saying? So we know theirs. You know, and I some part of me knows, like, I know why they don't they don't fully talk about their own. You know what I'm saying? So, but so yeah, so we can't, you know, I don't get mad, and I don't expect them. They should look into it. You know what I'm saying? They should see, because it's a real interesting story. Our history is real rich, and then, you know, and you know, I feel like in public schools it should be spoken about more. You know what I'm saying? You often have to they have to go to college to get a course on African American studies and history. You know what I'm saying? But in public school, you shouldn't even have to go to college to get that. You know what I mean? You should be getting that in public school, all public schools. I don't care what sector, charter, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You should be getting it. But just moving on, because I see what's going on. So back to the reparations, and we're gonna wrap this section up. So we have Oakland, California, the mayor offering, you know, $500. That's, I guess, and that's the best they could do. You know what I'm saying? And if you know, Oakland, California struggles. You know what I mean? When it comes to financially, you know what I'm saying, and their poverty level, then you know that's you know. Then you have Evanston, Illinois. They're giving up $25,000 assistance for home buyers, down payment assistance, repairs, and everything of that nature. Then you have the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. He's trying to put forth. He's wrote a bill out and put forth and sending it to D.C. to see what he can do for the entire state when it comes to reparations. And then we rounded up here in North Carolina. In North Carolina is you had Asheville, just in I believe it was because I'm in North Carolina, so I want to say it was 2019 when they put forth what did they last summer, Asheville, North Carolina, where the population makes up 11% of more than 92,000 residents. They formally apologized for its role in slavery. The city voted unanimously to provide reparations to black residents and their descendants. So I don't know what they came up with. And Asheville, North Carolina is in that's the Blue Ridge, that's the mountains of North Carolina. I haven't heard anything that they have done yet. Like, what did they put forth? I haven't heard anything yet. If I do, I will report it back to you guys. So that was that. Let me know how y'all feel about the reparations. What's your thoughts on that? What y'all feel about that? You know, I don't care what your nationality is, your race is. What do you feel about reparations for black people? You know, because everybody has your opinion on it. It's a judgment, non-judgmental zone, you know. So speak what you feel. If you're watching this video, what do you think about that? You know, and definitely, if you're African American, if you're black, let me know what's your thoughts about reparations. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested to hear. You know what I mean? I'm always open. This channel has been created. I actually had this channel since 2010. Okay, I created this channel back in 2010, and it just kind of set dormant a little bit. So, you know, over the past year, I just thought to come back and really go hard and create some content. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not new to this, you know what I mean, at all, by far. You know, but I just, you know, wanted to come back and bring and talk about other things other than what I'm saying. I don't talking about entertainment, news, and all of that all day. I don't have to. I want to talk about things that make us think. Talk about things that people talk about at work, in the break room, at home, with their family. You know what I'm saying? When you're kicking it with your homegirls or your homeboys, the conversations you may have. That's what I want to have here. And this is a non-judgmental zone. I'm not here to degrade anybody, to talk down to anybody, to like just to kick out racist slurs. That's not what I'm here to do. But yes, I am unapologetically will speak about black issues as well as all national issues. So, you know, if that's something that you're not interested in, if that's something that you're not, then it's fine. You know, but just be respectful if you do leave comments, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm coming respectfully, you know, and a lot of times I'm coming, and when I'm coming with the questions or bringing forth issues, I'm coming trying to get answers myself, you know. So feel free to drop your comments, man. But back to this. So now I want to get into this vaccine situation. I'm not vaccine shaming. I haven't took the vaccine for my various reasons, and most of us all have the same reasons that if you haven't taken it, we all have the same reasons why we ain't take it. You know, so right now you got the U.S. offering so many different things. Like they're selling this. You got companies doing so many things. You have from offering Krispy Kreme donuts, movie popcorn, steak dinners, days off work, cash rewards, in exchange for you to take the vaccine. All types of things has been offered. The media has just been, you know, they've been using the media crazy to push this vaccine. Dr. Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, even solicited the help of former NFL running back Marshawn Lynch. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing all types of things. And the one thing, well, I'll get back to that. I don't want to veer off. I'm going to get back to this Dr. Fauci dude. So you had Kroger grocery store chains offering $100 to $200 worth of store credit. What's this? You have all types of stuff. I seen one place, somebody was offering, you take the vaccine, you get beer. And I'm like, why would you mix a drug with alcohol? It's just like, so this, like, for real? Like, so you said offer, I can't remember where I heard, somebody's really doing this, y'all. Somebody was like, I don't know, maybe somebody here in North Carolina. It had to be. Because I had to be. I was watching the news one day, the local news. Yeah, it's somebody here in North Carolina. You take the vaccine, you get beer. And I'm saying to myself, now what drug? Most drugs, they tell you if you're taking a drug, like if you take, especially medication, like don't mix alcohol with it, right? So why would you, huh? Okay. So I'm like, man, they offering all types of stuff. See, Dr. Fauci, you know, I just go back to this one thing, man. And as I said, y'all could go back and look it up. Y'all can go back and look. It was on the Breakfast Club, which is Power 105 in New York. Punch it in on YouTube or whatever. The Breakfast Club, he did an interview around March, April of 2020. During right smack at the heart of the pandemic. He did an interview on the Power 105, The Breakfast Club. Punch that in. Check the interview out. Type in Dr. Fauci interview on Power 105 Breakfast Club. I was listening to that interview that morning because I listen to the Breakfast Club every morning. You know, I listen to them on the app. You know what I'm saying? So I listened to that interview. He specifically said, because Trump was pushing and kept saying, yeah, it was going to be a vaccine available. We're going to get it out there fast. Fauci came back and he said, it won't be one. At the minimum, 18 months. He's like, we just can't get it out that fast. He's like, that's impossible. He's like, so it'll be 18 months. So you were looking at that time, so that interview that was March, April. So now what are we in, May? We might have been hearing about the trials, a trial run of the vaccine right now. We still wouldn't even have the vaccine right now from what he said back then. So my thing, and then he started backpedaling when Trump started, you know, I guess Trump started bullying him. He started backpedaling, you know, and so now he's like all for it. But I'm like, and then mind you, that same day, Fauci went on other media outlets and said the same thing. So I'm like, dude, you know, come on, man. You know, Americans, people are not stupid. It's not even about being about American or nothing. Really, people are not stupid, okay? You can't just, people are not stupid. Especially today we have the internet. People can type in stuff. People can do research. People don't no longer have to succumb to just waiting in front of the TV to see what the government's going to say, or waiting in front of the TV, or waiting and see what the doctor, like, what is this? What is that? People could go look up their symptoms. People can look up things about themselves. People can type in what are natural remedies to take for certain types of basic illnesses or whatever. Sicknesses, I should say, not illnesses, sicknesses. So people can type in we can type in what we want. We have the world at our fingertips, right? So we don't have to sit there and just listen to what people saying. So people are not stupid. And me personally, I'm just not down with someone trying to hustle me to take a drug. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like light peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, I'm not down with that. But what's your thoughts on this vaccine? You know, everything that I'm presenting to y'all, man, I want some answers from y'all too. You know, I'm here presenting things. I want to know how y'all feel. It's not about what I feel. It's about, I'll give my opinion here and there, but I want to know how y'all feel too. You know, this show was created for the people. It's not, you know what I mean? And, you know, these are things that, and the things that I present to y'all, if you look back at all my shows, the things that I present to y'all, the things, the conversations that I be having, that and that I be wanting to, you know, and things that interest me, that I know. And when I go and look, surf the web, I see these same things interest other people as well. Other people have concerns about it. So I felt, hey man, let's talk about it. All right, so we're gonna jump into this. We talking about, so y'all heard about the federal the federal judge, he overturned the eviction ban. So now, you know, people are gonna be getting the eviction. I think it was supposed to be up in July. It was supposed to be up in July, but let me read it to y'all real quick. Oh, and first, before I forget, those last two stories we read were talked about the vaccine and talked about Morris Brown. That came from the Final Call newspaper. You know, that comes from the Final Call newspaper, which is the Nation of Islam. You know, they have the newspapers out, and I like to read everything, man. You know, something is interesting to me, I like to read it, and they always put a lot of knowledge in the newspaper. So shout out to the Final Call. Shout out to the Nation of Islam. Period. You know what I mean? Because they, regardless of what, they're out there. Each one teach one. They're trying to push knowledge. You know what I mean? Give you understanding. You don't have to be a member. You know what I mean? and they all about pushing knowledge, and I'm down with that. That's the same thing I'm on. I've grew and learned to be on that. Each one teach one. So, you know what I mean. I have no choice but to support that right there. You know what I'm saying? But so moving on, man. This right here is from CNBC when they talked about the federal judge overturns national eviction ban. So a federal judge, Dabney Frederick, struck down on Wednesday, which was May the 5th, the national eviction moratorium, potentially leaving millions of Americans at risk of losing their homes 2 months earlier than expected. The Center for Disease Control, the CDC, and Prevention has banned most evictions across the country since September. The protection was slated to expire at the end of January, but President Joe Biden had extended it first until April and later through June. So that's where it was supposed to stop in June. Some 1 in 5 renters across the U.S. are struggling to keep up with their payments amid coronavirus pandemic. And states are scrambling to disperse more than $45 billion in rental assistance allocated by Congress. A spokesman for the Department of Justice said they plan to appeal the ruling. It also seeks a stay of the decision, meaning the ban would remain in effect throughout the court battle. So, all right, I'm going to stop right there because it goes on more. But, so this comes about too because even more so in the article, I ain't reading it all, but you have a lot of owners that, homeowners that, landlords, I should say, that they're losing money. They're not making no money, you know what I'm saying, because of that moratorium that was put in place. And I understand, they've been out for a year now, so they're like, yo, man, I can't keep doing this, you know what I mean? I gotta make some money. How am I eat? That may be the only way some people that may be their only job. Your landlord, that's all he do. He might have some properties and he makes his living off of that. So how is he gonna eat? You know what I mean? After a while, he may not be able to receive a lot of the funding that the government was giving and things of that nature. So, I understand that this business, nothing personal. There's a lot of thoughts and things that, it's like, okay, well, if you put these people out and you don't work with them, then what's the chances of you actually getting your place rented out if you don't work with the people that's in there? If it's a situation right now. But then on the flip side, jobs are coming back. I've been seeing signs. I'm seeing all types of stuff around the city I'm in and around the state. that jobs are high. Yeah, some of them may not be they may be minimum wage type jobs, and you might have to just work like 2 jobs for now. You know what I'm saying? And then most of them aren't those type of jobs. They are, companies are fully open back up. They might have lost a lot of employees during the pandemic for whatever reasons, you know what I mean? So for many different reasons, they could have lost employees, you know what I mean? A lot of things during this pandemic were like a chain reaction, cause especially when you have families with children in school, and then with everything that was going on in school with the homeschooling. Some families ain't, so if you're struggling with your bills and mortgage or whatever, or rent or whatever, you don't have that extra cash to pay for aftercare service for your child or daycare service for your child. So some people had to, quit their jobs to be home with their child so they can help them with the school. You know what I mean? So it's like a chain reaction with that. Then some people might have had to step down and quit. Maybe they had a family member that was sick from COVID and maybe they had to care for them or something of that nature. It's so many so many things that could happen during the pandemic. Then you could have people that probably just wanted to quit their job. They probably didn't feel comfortable during this pandemic, and maybe they didn't want to be out around people during the pandemic, and they said, look, man, I'm stepping down. I'm not doing this. I got a family. They may work in an environment where it's heavy populated, you know what I'm saying, with people, and they always, so they probably just had to step back. So it's so many different things during this pandemic that happened. So I understand this business, but it's like some states are offering, they have assistance. The government shelled out money to these states, but it's just like they were saying in the article here, what I read there briefly, like the funding is not getting out fast enough. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but yeah, so I understand that part, man. You know what I mean? It's a hard thing, man, but it's not personal, it's just business. You know what I mean? So moving on. Man, what y'all think about this? Hold on though. What y'all think about this Bill Gates situation? Like, so he said, so him and his wife divorcing, okay, after 27 years. But he had a girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend. This is what I didn't understand about this Bill Gates situation. I'm like, okay, so you and him and his ex-girlfriend, pretty much, they nerds. They did nerdy stuff. That's why he loved his ex-girlfriend. They did nerdy stuff. So, I'm gonna tap in here to get her name real quick, man. So they did nerdy stuff. So he loved her. They did. He got his ex-girlfriend's approval, and I want to get her name, so I won't keep saying his ex-girlfriend. Where is her name? Anne Winblad. Winblad. I wonder if that's the correct way to say it. Anne Winblad. That's her name. So, yeah, Anne Winblad. So, Anne Winblad is his ex-girlfriend. That's his ex-girlfriend. Anne Winblad and him go way back. They began dating, I think, in '84 after meeting at a computer conference. So, so Bill Gates and Anne Winblad, he knew her since '84, and they did everything together. They did nerdy stuff together. Read biology books. They would take trips to the mountains. They would just take trips places on a whim. You know what I mean? So when he met his wife, so when Bill Gates met his wife, when he met his wife, he got Anne Winblad's approval. Like, hey, should I marry this chick? You know what I mean? Like, they weren't, I guess him and Anna weren't dating no more. So he was like, hey, but he's still cool with her. He still fly with her. They still do stuff. It's just a major respect level. They got love for each other like that. So he go to Anna Winblad, his ex, and say, hey, man, I'm digging this chick over here. What you think about her? He got her approval. Anne said, yeah, I think she's fine. She's great. Yeah. He married her. But when he got with his wife, Bill Gates told his wife, look, me and Anna, that's my chick. I'm just giving it to you on layman's terms. He like, yo, Anna, that's that chick. Anne, that's my chick. Me and her be taking trips. So if me and you gonna get married, you got to be down with that. His wife agreed. I guess so. He got money. You know what I'm saying? He was getting paper. You know what I'm saying? When he met his wife, he started getting that paper. He had just started getting that paper. So his wife agreed upon him. You know what I'm saying? So he would, once a month, he would take trips with Anne Winblad, his ex. But so my question is, why he ain't never married her? Why he ain't never married Anna? Well, I keep calling her Anna. I just want to call her Anna for some reason. But Anne Winblad, why you ain't, Kevin Gates, why you ain't, I mean Kevin Gates, sorry y'all. Bill Gates, I said Kevin Gates, that's a rapper. Bill Gates. Why you ain't married Anne? If you did all these things with her, y'all take trips, all types, all around the country, the world. Y'all go to cabins, you know, in the Carolinas and the mountains, things of that nature. Y'all can sit up for hours talking about techie stuff, just geeky stuff. It's cool. But why you ain't marry her? I'm confused. If y'all did all these things together, why you didn't marry her? I don't know. But moving on, man. I just thought that was, you know what I mean? But I thought it was funny, like, man, geek love. You know what I mean? Like some straight geek love. Even geeks be out here. Boy, even the geeks be out here in these streets. All right, man. So last thing, I want to round it up with this, man. So it's crazy. This Derek Chauvin dude, man. He's just not accepting and taking He's not taking ownership in the crime that he did. So now they wants to throw out the whole case. They want a retrial. Him and his lawyer been trying this crap since the trial was going on. Him and that lawyer been trying to get the case. They were looking for every little thing that they can find to get this case thrown out. And he's talking. Derek Chavin's talking about his constitutional rights were violated, this and that, because one of the jurors went to him. He didn't go to the march. He was there signing people up for some voting or something of that nature, and he had on the Black Lives Matter t-shirt. So Chavin, so I'm like, man, you guys actually been really digging into these jurors after this case or during this case and trying to see whatever y'all could see on these people. Y'all been trying everything. Bro, the world seen that you had your knee on that man's neck, and that's what killed that man. It wasn't no drugs. It wasn't his past health, medical history, none of that. You killed that man, and you just not owning up to it. And you're not taking ownership in what you done. It's a disrespect. And then you say you didn't get a fair trial. George Floyd didn't get a due process. George Floyd didn't. You violated his constitutional rights. The man kept telling you he couldn't breathe. You wouldn't listen to him. And you talking about your constitutional rights? Man, get out of here. I hope the judge throw the book at Derek Chauvin. I hope the judge throw the book at you. I hope he give you the maximum just for that. That's a smack in those jurors' face. No, that's first and foremost a smack in the face. Disrespect, again, to the dead, to George Floyd, for one. It's a disrespect to his family. It's a disrespect to the courts and saying that they didn't give you a fair trial. You're trying to say that the judge didn't allow certain things, or they wouldn't allow his buddy, George Floyd's friend. I can't remember that guy's name. I'm not going through it and look for it. But his friend, supposedly the guy who he may have got the drugs from, the judge allowed him not to take the stand because it was his rights. I watched the whole trial. It was his right. He didn't have to take the stand. You know what I'm saying? George Floyd's friend, the guy supposedly the one that had the drugs or whatever, that sold him the drugs or something like that. He was there with him the day before or the day of something. I don't know. But anyway, that guy waved his right. He's like, look, I don't know. I'm not, that's my right. I plead the fifth. I'm not getting up there on the stand because he had other charges and he felt like if he did this would have opened him up and saying, implicated him in something that he really didn't have nothing to do with. So he's like, oh, no, I'm not getting up there on the stand. And the judge told him that was his right. The judge could not violate that man's rights. You know what I mean? So I felt like watching that case, the judge was stern and he was straight up. I felt like the judge knew that Eric Nelson, which is Derek Chauvin's, that was his only lawyer, you know, he knew that the judge knew that Eric Nelson was trying every little thing. He was trying every little thing. Second week into the trial, into Derek Chauvin's murder trial, he's sitting there trying to get the case thrown out. Then he's talking about it. You know, the second week of the trial. You got a full 3 weeks of trial, man. You know what I'm saying? And you talking about somebody you didn't get right. First of all, the trial, if it wasn't for video footage and everything, that trial probably would have been over within a week. And you would have won. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody could see. They can only go with what y'all saying. You know what I mean? But see, the state wasn't playing with you. And the facts are going to remain the same. If you get a retrial, and I felt like Derek Chauvin, if you felt that way, then why didn't you take the stand and fight for your own life? If you thought that you did everything by the book, by the law, if you felt that you followed your police department's protocol in Minneapolis, Minnesota, then why didn't you take the stand? You turned down taking the stand. You said you would not take the stand. You know. So why didn't you take the stand? But you're gonna fight. You're gonna talk about the judge violated your constitutional rights, and they didn't let the guy who stood up there in front of and said to y'all he's not gonna take the stand because he ain't feel like he had nothing to do with it, and he had another open case, and that kind of would have implicated made him. So he didn't take the stand, and he had every right to. He had the same rights not to take the stand as you did in your own trial fighting for your own self, Derek Chauvin. So miss us with the bull crap, Derek Chauvin and your lawyer, Eric Nelson. Miss us with the BS, and I hope that the judge threw the book at you and land you in prison for the rest of your life where you need to be. You don't need, ain't no coming back on the street because you don't have no remorse. I hope the judge sees the disrespect there, that you have no remorse for what you did. You're still denying what you done. You thought that you were going to murder that man and you should just walk away on camera? And there was a little girl there that seen you doing this too? A child? People were pleading with you. Citizens of that community were pleading with you to get off that man's neck. He can't breathe. You never once looked down at Floyd because you didn't. You were just sitting there just grinding your knee into that man's neck, waiting for him not to move. You had no emotion and no feeling. You did it on purpose. You might have not drove there with those intentions, but when you got there, and as it went on, when we watched you with your knee on his neck, and we listened to Floyd kept pleading with you before he even got on the ground, he pleaded with you all. You never listened. So I hope the judge not listening to you and your last plea from the cell for your life. But you wouldn't stand on that. You wouldn't get on that stand. You ain't want to get on the stand at that state, in front of that state, because the state was going to chew you up. And you knew it. And your lawyer told you. And you want to sit there and your lawyer said, you want to be clear that I didn't tell you. I didn't coerce you into. Your lawyer told you. We all know how this go. When your lawyer touched it, hey, you can take the stand, man. I wouldn't do it. Because you knew. That's why your lawyer was shooting for every little thing that he can find to try to get that case dismissed. There's no way on earth that case was going to get dismissed. And then they try to say, oh, yeah, the public, you know, the reaction from the public if he wouldn't have got charged, if he wouldn't have got charged, if he would have won. The reaction that so you trying to make it like, no, the public knew what was wrong, and the public wanted justice, the people. But yo, I say for me, man, I'm your boy Rashawn. This is Space Invaders TV. Thanks for tapping in. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button and notification bell so every time I post a video, you'll get it. You'll know about it. Please make sure y'all tell a friend and tell a friend. I'm not trying to get thousands of subscribers, but it's a each one teach one thing. At least if you don't tell somebody about the page, you watch the video, share it. Share the video. You know, share some of the things that I talk about. If it interests you, I'm pretty sure you got some friends that it'll interest as well. You know what I'm saying? Peace and blessings to all of y'all. Peace be with you in your homes and outside of your homes. Until next week, I'm your boy Rashawn. This is Space Invaders TV, and I'm out.